Hey guys, Pete and Max here. Capcom was kind enough to let us show you 10 minutes of the new Strider remake, so we're just going to save time and jump right in. Max, let's do this thing.
All right, let's hop right in.
Yeah, interrupt me, why don't you?
Hey, you know it's what I do. So Peter, I have a terrible confession to make. Very dark secret of my past. Yeah. I've not played any of the older Strider games, but I'm loving
I thought you just
the
said
new one.
Did you just say you haven't played any of the older Strider
I'm
games?
saying that I'm a disappointment to you, and you should be ashamed.
Well,
in so many words. But tell me, you've played a little bit of this, and
yeah.
I've just played the new one. Like, so for instance here, we're starting very cinematic. Strider, for whatever reason, he lives in the future, but he still uses a hang glider. Is this like a classic homage to Strider history that I'm just completely missing? Yeah,
I mean, there's so many references in this little demo. Everything from the design of the character, although that's sort of reminiscent of the redone Strider that was represented in original Marvel vs. Capcom. But yeah, so basically the story here is there's a guy, and I believe it's the same in this one. There's a guy known as the Grandmaster who is basically trying to dominate the world, and he lives
like you do.
Yeah, like you do if you're a Grandmaster. And he lives in Kazakh, which is sort of this place that's designed after, you know, old Soviet, you know.
Yeah, it kind of looks like
USSR
fantasy
kind of
Russia.
Yeah, precisely. So, so yeah, I mean, traditionally Strider was a side-scrolling action game that you know, you played this ninja character that had the ability to climb walls, to grapple on platforms. You have this really fast saber. Initially, there was an arcade game, an NES game, and you know, Strider went on a whole bunch of different platforms. And then back on the PlayStation, Capcom made the definitive Strider 2, which is actually kind of reminiscent of this, but it was 2D character sprites on 3D backgrounds, and it was a side-scrolling game.
Okay. So then did the original Strider never see like a home release?
No, it did. It was on Genesis, NES.
Oh, I probably missed that.
And then I think maybe even Amiga and a few other platforms as well. Then there was a different Strider 2 that was made not by Capcom, because Capcom doesn't actually own the rights to Strider. It belongs to, I believe, a company that owns rights to different manga series. So every time Capcom wants to make a new Strider game, they have to secure the license. Yeah,
I know a lot of people are really myself included, are really loving just like the speed and momentum of this game and how good it feels just to run around and cut dudes up as you're seeing. Like, I imagine the original Strider games too were probably based a lot on just like high-speed 2D platforming and hack and slash action.
At the time, it definitely seemed pretty quick. But if you go back and play the old Strider now, especially on the home consoles, if you played like this or any other like fast-paced, you know, modern action platformer, it just feels really slow by comparison. Everything is very deliberate and drawn out. This is so much faster. And one of the interesting things that I'm really looking forward to is the fact that this game has that sort of you know, free-roaming exploration aspect to it, like you find in a, you know, Castlevania or a Metroid.
I know folks, we're trying real hard not to use the word Metroidvania right now.
I've never heard that word before.
Never even heard of it. I don't even know what it is. I don't know why people keep saying it.
Yeah, so that's a first for the series, where basically you have this gigantic map. You have a path and you have objectives that you have to follow, but you also have the ability to explore, and then you'll find power-ups and, you know, upgrades to weapons and your health. And one of the cool things about that, mixing with Strider as a character, is that, as you can see, he has the ability to sort of climb up walls and go through around ceilings and stuff.
Surprise! And surprise people.
Yeah, so that makes the exploration thing pretty straightforward. But there are a lot of locks in place, you know, where a door will require a secret weapon.
Yeah, and something else we're going to see here in just a second is the Cypher upgrades for Strider's weapon. Like, I'm about to get the slide upgrade pretty soon. Like, is that also something, a carryover from older Strider games like Call of Duty's Power? Oh.
No, the upgrade system is new. But that, you know, that's fitting in with the, what did you call it?
Castleroid, I believe is the term.
Yeah, so that,
Castlevania. Wait a minute, no, that's the actual name of the game. Power-ups.
Power-ups. Yeah, so you also, Strider also has what are known as options, which is kind of a term used universally in gaming. I'm not sure why. You know, the little pods that sort of float around your character, and those come with different abilities that you can upgrade as well. Although we won't be getting to those.
Yeah,
considering we only have about 10 minutes here. Yeah, and this is coming from Double Helix is developing this, right?
Mm-hmm. Double Helix, who recently released the well-received Killer Instinct reboot as well. So they've been working in the reboot mines recently.
Yeah, but you know, I got to say, like.
All right, so yeah, here we go. Here's the slide upgrade that I was talking about, and then we'll use this, as Peter was saying, to sort of backtrack and open up some new areas of the game that we haven't been to yet.
And so Double Helix is developing this for Capcom for the Xbox 360, Xbox One, PS3, PS4, which is the version we're playing right now.
Yeah, it's going to be available PSN, XBLA, and PC.
Yes, so PC.
And then so both the current last gen, however you want to call it, Xbox One, PS4, PS3, and Xbox
totally
360.
everything I already said.
Okay, well, you know what?
No, it's good.
I'm also
It's
playing.
good.
Also, you know what? I'm going to hop down here. And not... Oh, yeah, I can totally open this thing because I have a charge shot.
Yeah, but having played the old games, I've really enjoyed the maybe hour or so I spent playing this the other day. The controls feel incredible. Really, my only complaint is from the get-go, you don't have any means of defense.
Oh, yeah, that's something.
Other
Yeah,
than evasion.
that was something else I wanted to ask about. Did you have any sort of defensive capabilities in the older games? Because that's something I've seen people comment a lot, is that you don't have any way to sort of defend yourself besides like getting out of the way or jumping over stuff.
Yeah,
like
so in the past, you didn't have any sort of defense, other than the occasional object that you could cut. But it's very different now, because there are some scenes here in this game where you have 6 people firing a spread shot at you.
Yeah.
And it would be nice to be able to, slash away at those projectiles, but, it's potential that, throughout the game you'll acquire some sort of defense.
Yeah, when I played an area similar to this at the most recent Tokyo Game Show, and they had the Reflect Cipher available to you very early on. It was one of the first things you got, pretty much around the same time that you got the slide attack. And it definitely helps.
Yeah.
And it feels really good too, like especially against the shotgun guys, because their bullets all come out in a spread.
Right.
If you just reflect it right when they first shoot, you get to shoot all those pellets back at them and just wipe them out.
Yeah.
It's like, you think you're so smart.
So you do get the charge ability, where you can sort of charge up a powerful swipe of your blade.
Mm-hmm.
And in the right scenario, you can use that and mix it with a slide and actually take out those groups of enemies that we were describing that were hard to evade. You can take them out pretty simply, but it's kind of up to you to suffer a bit to find the right mix of moves, like a series of moves that'll make it easier than just getting hit and powering through.
Something else I think people maybe recognize about older Strider games is that you also had delightful animal companions. You had like a bird and a robotic wolf, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, and you get the eagle here. I don't know about the wolf though.
I've not seen the wolf. A little later on, I'm not sure if we'll get to show it or not, but you do get the eagle power up. He helps you get from one area to another, and he can also be used as a sort of projectile attack that has to charge up between uses.
Yeah, there are like little launch pads in the game, sort of like an elevator, maybe in Metroid or a teleporter
An Eagle Vader.
in Castlevania. Yeah, an Eagle Vader.
Like you do. All right, well, I'm going to try to power through the rest of this boss fight.
Yeah.
Go ahead and wrap it up.
And Max, when is this coming out? Do you know?
This
spring.
I don't think they have a definite day and date release date yet, but so far I think they're just saying early 2014, early this year.
And it looks like it's only going to be $15 as well.
15 bones, $14.99.
Which is a really good deal.
Digital download.
Yeah, hopefully, this game was announced not too long ago. It was less than a year, really.
Yeah.
And
It's been a real fast turnaround.
Yeah, so I don't know. $15 makes me think that maybe it won't be as big as I was hoping.
Well, I mean, the original Striders you could power through pretty quickly, though, right?
Yeah, but this is different, right? This is a exploration piece.
Yeah.
So hypothetically, you should have a lot of stuff to explore because that's what makes this game so great. But if it's only 3 hours with 20 minutes of exploration packed on it, it's going to defeat the purpose a little bit. But I'm optimistic because it really is fun to play, and yeah, I mean, really that's what's important to me at the end of the day. Even if, like Strider 2 on the PlayStation, that game, you had infinite continues and you could power through that so fast. But I still really like that game. It's still really fond of it.
How does the difficulty since you spent time with both of them? Like, you think this is easier, harder? Like you just mentioned that Strider 2 did have infinite continues, so I imagine that did help ease things up quite a bit.
Yeah, you would die quite often. I mean, you didn't have to die often. You got used to dying, right? This game definitely, I've died a few times, just playing it casually.
Yeah.
It definitely demands more of you. So I'd say this is a little bit harder than Strider 2 was. It's likely because there aren't infinite continues. It's not easy either. It's a mix of both.
Well, Pete, thanks for sitting down with me, sharing some of your insights into the world of Strider.
I hope it helped.
Hope you guys love checking out the game. I'm Maxwell McGee. This is Peter Brown. Stay tuned to the site for ongoing Strider coverage.